Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power. Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, Akron, Millstone, who do well and teach well. And shalom to the full elect, and you I can push in this word throughout the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity, making your calling and election sure. Shalom, shalom. And before I play this video, let me get this preset. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, so let's play this out.
If you think inflation is bad now, just wait.
Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing.
Listen, this is an old clip because Saudi Arabia already signed with BRICS to start trading on January 1st.
It's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be. You do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war. We've got America's enemies.
Yeah, because what the Ukraine war was not necessarily for Russia to just go and beat, right, the Americans or the U.S., right, supporting Ukraine. The goal of that was to drain America out of its resources, which is why you've seen trillions and trillions of dollars being sent out to Ukraine, while Americans are struggling to even just live. Okay, but nonetheless, this is all biblical prophecy, because it's gonna lead to one thing, man. The elder apostle Tahar quoted this year, or coined this year, Salakia, as the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble.
Led by China, forming a new economic bloc. All it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, is for Saudi Arabia to say,
we're at a pivotal moment, and for all this to take a pivotal point,
is for Saudi Arabia to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global economic system. But certainly the
Saudi Arabia has already signed on January 1st.
The American economic system, and if that were to happen, you'd be looking at sky-high inflation, just raging Weimar Republic kind of inflation.
And remember, they're not going to tell you what's happening. You're just going to see it. And it's laid out that way because the Lord wants to catch you people off guard.
If you think inflation is bad now, just wait. But more importantly, we would lose our economic dominance and we would lose our...
Yeah. And they're all in, they are all in on the same plan of ushering in that digital currency, right? Russia and China, but BRICS in them, right? Because the scriptures do say that no man shall buy or sell unless they have this mark, this charagma, right? Rich, poor, free or bond, and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals. What are victuals? Food. Any substance consumed by an organism for nutritional support shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Because believe it or not, $5 for a bag of hot Cheetos is still cheap. It may not have been as cheap as it was before, but a burger. burger. You can get a burger for what, $6, $8, whatever. It's still good, right? Of course, it's slowly creeping up, but nonetheless, you Americans think this shit is sweet still. It's all good, man. She's gonna come back around. That they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay? And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Okay? There's a strike happening right now with the trucks in the support of Palestine. These trucks, everybody knows they're the backbone of America. If these trucks ain't running, you're not going to have any food in them stores. And where's that at? Suddenly shall the sown places appear sown. Suddenly, when you notice it says suddenly. Let's get this. The book of Salakim. 2nd Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And we're gonna see, damn, why is Walmart so damn empty? The fuck? Why is Costco? Why is Sam's Club? Why is so on and so forth so damn empty? Are they gonna restock this? What's happening? What is that, Ezekiel? It's gonna correct itself. There you go. Ezekiel 7:19. This is the book of Ezekiel 7:19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. And this is just simply talking about their currency. Okay. Which today would be your dollar. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. Why? Because you're serving Mammon, another god, the money god. Because, there's a quote that Jake loves to say in the streets, man. What is that quote? They like to say, hey, how's it go? Money, or something to the effect of, hey, a female not gonna put, food on my table, or so on and so forth, right? Money won't cheat on me. Money this, money that. Money is loyal to me. Right? It's all about them Benjamins. Right? Pray all like in the movie, right? The leader row behind. Some stacked up, some lean into prayer. If that's what you believe in. Like he said, prayer's not gonna help his son. Well, we're gonna need more than just prayer. People don't understand that this shit is a big illusion. This money shit is a big illusion. Don't get me wrong. Right now, you got to do what you got to do because society's still intact. Yes. But putting your trust and your all in this dollar, not realizing and paying attention that it's getting ready to go out. Oh, yeah. Saudi Arabia officially joined BRICS on January 1st, January 1st, 2024. And it wasn't just Saudi Arabia, it was these other nations as well. So, yeah. And they all want to move to a cashless society, a cashless dollar. But nonetheless, man, hey, it is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Let's get the book of Revelations, chapter 6. Actually, I'm getting the NLT, so it'll be a little easier to understand. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 6, is it? Let me see. Yep. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 6. And I heard a voice from among the four living beings saying, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. But don't waste the olive oil and the wine. Okay. Because what's going to happen, inflation is going to go through the roof. But when you read it in the NLT, because you may think oil and the wine, well, why is the oil and the wine going to be saved? All right, let's get this. Verse 6. Search. 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts, saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine is talking about this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. When you read the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter, well, why didn't those foolish virgins make it into the kingdom? Because they weren't stacking up on the oil. Why were those, those, let me get that, the bottles, let me get that parable. I think it's in the book of Luke. Yep, Luke. Yep. This is the book of Luke, chapter 5 and verse 37. But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. And he spake also a parable unto them. No man putteth a piece of new garment upon an old. If otherwise, then both the new maketh the rent, and the piece that was taken out of the new agreeth not with the old. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles, and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. Okay. No man putteth new wine into old bottles. What does that mean? That's talking about putting those people that already think they already have it all figured out. You can't tell them nothing. Their bottle's already full of, old wine. Man, I've been reading the Bible since you were born. Yada, yada. You can't tell me what this is talking about. All right. That's why it says, no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottle and be spilled, and the bottle shall perish. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both be preserved. Let me get this. I think it goes into that. No, I still like it. But I can read it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mates. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. And what does it mean by none shall want her mate? It's the same thing as Luke, right? Luke, the 5th chapter, which we just read. No wine, right? You can't put new wine into old bottles. You can't mate this book, these scriptures, with another book. Okay? And that's what that's talking about. In the oil, right? You can just read Matthew, the 25th chapter. Because going into the time of Jacob's trouble, you're going to have to believe on these precepts, on these accounts in the scriptures of the prophets being delivered in multiple different ways. When the Lord tells you to trust on him, that he's going to provide for you and look out for you, you got to actually believe that and trust that coming into this time. Make not haste in the time of trouble, right? This shit cracks, boom, blackout. You can't be all, what the fuck, all shaky and shit. Because if you are, that just goes to show that you're condemned in your own mind. You haven't been doing what's needed of you to do. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right? You can read Amos 3 and 6. The Lord is the one that's going to be the one causing all this terror in the city. And if ye be with the Lord, right? That book is, Romans 8:31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Because you're going to have a lot of judgment being played out here in America, Babylon the Great. And yes, of course, it's going to be happening all throughout the whole globe. But for the most part, it's going to be here in America. Mystery Babylon the Great, right? Because this is where the great deliverance is going to be. This is where the concentration of the Israelites are at, right? That one quote of, I'm not too sure if it was Hitler or, the president of Egypt, technically saying that the Amalekites, right, the Ish people, small hatters, they took the Lord's jewels, right? Talking about, when during the West, the transatlantic slave trade. And then when you go into the history, you can read that in the book of Hosea, and also Solomon or Salmanazar. Yeah, 2nd Edges 13. Those are the 10 tribes which are carried away prisoners. Yep. Going into, how the Northern Kingdom was already in this side, in the Americas, before, the Southern Kingdom got sent out here. Because we wanted to go look for a land where we could practice the law, statutes, and commandments. But what happened was it went all the way left, and then the curses of Deuteronomy 28 hit all of us, right? Started with the Northern Kingdom, like Indian slave trade, and then it went all the way up to the Southern Kingdom. But yeah, man, we're getting ready to come into Jacob's trouble, one of the most horrific days, and you have people out here just living in la-la land, turning up, and, don't get caught up in this shit, man. The mirth is getting ready to cease, right? Let me get this. Right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay to his heart. Okay? It is better to go into the house of mourning, man, because you understand. You understand the scriptures say a wise man, smileth little. You can tell a wise man by his countenance. Because you understand, man, that this shit's getting ready to go all the way left. And we're just hoping, right? Prisoners of hope. Hoping to be a part of that number, man. Making our calling and election short, man, to the best of our ability. Because it's about to get real spooky out here. It has been coined the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And we know what comes with Jacob's trouble, man. The charagma and the deliverance of the elect, consisting of the 144,000 and the 1/3 great multitude. But with that, man, I don't want this house was edifying.